Okay, this is, we're gonna try to start a podcast here. You know, we just came up with the name Rolling Loud, and we're gonna try to start a podcast. We're gonna tell just little stories and shit, just listen to music. You already know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, here's my first story. I'm gonna start. So, we lived out in the country at this point, and I was about 6, and it was about midday, and I was playing upstairs in my bedroom. Now, to get upstairs, you had to go, it was weird, you had to go up the stairs, and then you'd open the door at the very top of the stairs, and you'd go in, and it'd be my sister's room, right? But then there would be another door in her room that would lead to my room. It was weird. So I was just up there, and we had these big open closets. So I was just sitting in there with the doors open, just playing with my little toys and shit. You already know. And I look over because I see something moving. And it was this, like, toy Hot Wheel. And you can ask my mom, she remembers when I was, like, screaming and shit. It, like, rose up, and then this bitch shot, like, right past me by my head. You know that dresser down there in my room? Well, that was in the long brown dresser with my TV and shit.
Yeah.
That was that same dresser, but that was in the closet, because the closet just stayed open. It was a huge closet. So the dresser was pushed back. I was sitting by it, and that, like, came up, and it shot right towards my head. And it hit it, and I was screaming. And I don't really remember much after that, but I do remember the toy car. It actually was still here. I found it a couple months back, and I threw that bitch in the woods over here. I was like, fuck that shit. I remember it. It had, like, this little weird face on it and shit, bro. The house was haunted as fuck, bro. I swear to God. Go ahead, tell a story, bro. Tell a story.
Bro, I ain't got no story, bro.
Anything. Any story. It does not matter. When something embarrassing happened, funny, I don't know. If you think of something, just say it. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna hit the pin. You already know.
Dude, I can't think of it.
You wanna hit the pin?
You gotta tell a story, bro.
I'll tell another story from that same hospital. That's also, like, paranormal. Oh, fuck. These stories obviously ain't gonna be in much detail, because this is when I was like 6, maybe even 5. But I'm pretty sure I moved into the house when I was 6, but it might have been when I was 5. So, it's kind of blurry and choppy and shit, but here's another one. So, fuck. Now, the details I don't exactly remember. You could also ask my mom again. She'll remember, because when I was younger, if something happened, you know, like, you tell your parents, you're like, what happened, you know, type of shit. So, she remembers, like, all this shit. So, basically, to keep her shirt, nah, I cannot talk, but what's this on shirt? Okay, bro. I think I hit that pin too much. To keep it short, I don't remember where I was. I think I was in my room again. I saw somebody, like a figure shoot themselves, right? I swear to God, bro. And I told my mom about it. And then the next day, one of my, like, I was actually close with him. One of my uncles, like, and I was, like, best buddies with him. Like, I was like his little buddy type shit, you know. His name was Doobie. That was his real name. And, you know, I ain't gonna disclose nothing else. But you know, over at T's house, you know, Ty's house. Yeah. Hold on. So yeah, over there, right? It was his brother, bro, or his cousin. He was, he like robbed a store or some shit, and he was in a high-speed chase with the cops, and he was running, you know, over that bridge down there after you hit the curb by your house. Don't say no roads, but you already know the big curb, and then you start heading over the bridge towards the blinking four-way. Yeah, bro. I think they were running through there, and then he ended up shooting himself in the head. So I saw that, and then the next day, a close friend of ours shot himself in the head. Yeah, that shit was crazy, bro. Yeah. For real, bro. That shit was crazy. You ain't got nothing to say, bro? Just any little story, it does not matter. It could be insignificant, bro. It does not matter. I do not care. Maybe a fight you got in, like something. It could be hype, happy. I'm just telling like bad stories. I'm not even gonna lie with you, bro. Bro, I need some fucking water in this bitch, bro.
$20 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today.
We got a fucking ad. We got a fucking ad, bro. Bro. Fuck, I gotta think of something.
Dude, when you tell a good story, I'll tell a story, bro.
I know, I'm just telling a little simple story right now. Okay. So, I'm not this close. I'm gonna try my best not to here, turn it down. I'm gonna try my best. No, turn it up a little bit, like really quiet though. Turn the phone up. It just has that static noise for no reason.
No.
Yeah, turn that shit off. It sounds terrible. Okay. So, I barely remember this because I was really little. I don't even know how I remember, but like I remember it like, you know, like I remember it, but not a lot. I was like 4 or like 3. Like I was really little, but like I remember it. So we was living out in the Heights, right? You know how it is out there already, bro. It's not like the hood, you know, like over here, but it's like the ghetto. It's different. It's the ghetto. It's just a whole bunch of broke down houses, and we lived in the same thing, bro. We lived in the broke down house. I don't know if you know, but down on the cul-de-sac, bro. The cul-de-sac. We lived right there on that house at the end of the cul-de-sac, little roundabout. And that was my granny's house, right? So we all just lived there and shit. But she didn't live there at the time. It was my dad, my mom, and then me and Precious, I believe. We lived in there, and they were selling, right? You know, you already know what they were selling. And they ended up getting busted and fucking raided by my Uncle M, bro. My Uncle M. Yeah, got raided by, got snitched out by them, bro. By him. And they got raided. And I remember I was laying there, and it was nighttime.
By the police?
Yeah, bro, they fucking busted in the door, and they raided that bitch. They were like, boom, boom, boom. You know, blah, 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 county sheriff department. And then fucking busted that bitch in, bro, and that shit was fucking crazy. I barely remember it, but we were laying down, like, out in the living room. And they did that, and then my dad, like, I think he picked me up and he moved me. He put me in my sister's room, bro. And they busted in the door and shit, and then threw him in handcuffs. And my grandma and grandpa actually did live there. And we were staying out in the living room. My fault, I fucked up in the beginning. But so they came out, and so we just stayed there, bro. They got busted and took everything and put them on the floor and fucking handcuffed them and shit, bro. That shit was crazy. Like, real, they had like a whole bunch of cars and a whole bunch of cops. Shit was in, I don't know about the news, but like the newspaper and shit, you know, like blah blah blah, drug bust and shit, you know. It was crazy, bro. That shit really happened too. Yeah. That shit was crazy. I think I told you about this before, but this is I heard it from both of my uncles that were there as well. They were at the carnival. It was my dad, my uncle, and my uncle A, you know, the one that was just here. And then they had like a couple girls that was with them. I think it was just one or two. And they were at the fair, the carnival type shit. And they were walking out to leave, and these bigger dudes bumped into my dad's little brother. And my dad was like, told the dude at the carnival, was like, hey.
How old was your dad?
My dad was like, I think he was like 17, 18.
Oh, so you weren't alive?
Hell no. So my dad was like 17, 18. My Uncle M was like 15, 16, like 15.
How old were the other guys?
And then Uncle A was like 16. And then the other dudes were like 23, 24. They were older. But my dad been whooping ass. Like, he grew up in, you know, the bad neighborhood and shit. So, yeah, you know, bro. It was fucked up.
Did they fight, bro?
A lot, bro. I got a story I could tell you.
Did they fight?
Yeah, but I could tell you a story about how they got jumped and shit all the time because going into high school, it was fucked up. But, so, fuck. Where was I at?
You were talking about your dad's little brother got bumped.
Okay, so yeah, so he got hit, and then told the dude at the dude at the carnival, he was like, hey, that dude just hit my brother. And then the dude was like, I saw it, I seen this a million times. Just saying, like, it just happens all the time. Like, people just be getting pushed and shit. And the dude was being an asshole about it. And my dad looked at the dude, the carnival dude that said that, and he said, have you seen this a million times? And then he turned to the dude, and he proceeded to kick his ass. He just started whooping his ass, bro.
How many?
He said, have you seen this a million times? And he turned to him, and he put his fist up, and the dude threw a right and then a left kick, and then my dad blocked it, and then he did it again, and then he learned, and he countered and hit him in the stomach, bro. And then I don't remember how he really beat him up, but I remember he was saying, like, the dude kept trying to throw this fucking combo, like I said. And then he fucking hit him, and then I don't remember the rest. He just beat his fucking ass. But I just remember the story because he told me he used the thing. He was like, have you seen this a million times? And then fucking turned and started beating his ass, bro. I got one where my dad was riding his bike down the road, and this big orange-haired kid, I forget his name, Daniel Trinker or some bullshit like that. I don't even fucking know. They had some beef, and the dude said some shit, and he was like, what'd you say, you fucking faggot? And then the dude went behind his house and came out with a fucking, like, 2 foot long steel pipe. Like, you know, like, yay long, because, like, foot's like that, you know. So he came out with that bitch. My dad was right there, so he had to fucking start fighting, and the dude fucking swung, hit my dad in the head. Bam. He hit him in the left side because the dude's swinging with his right. So yeah, he hit him. Bam.
Wait, who had the metal pipe?
The dude, not my dad.
So the dude hit him in the head with it?
Yeah, he hit him. And my dad tried to grab the pipe and missed. And then the dude hit him again. And then finally, the third time, the guy swung the pipe straight down. And then my dad grabbed it like this. And then just twisted it and fucking threw the pipe. And started fucking swinging on him and shit.
Damn.
And then one time my dad was coming in class. And no, he got sent out of class. And this one dude named Daniel thought that shit was funny when he's walking through the hall and says some shit to my dad. And my dad hit him so hard in the face, his glasses just slid down the hall and hit the door at the end of the hall.
Damn.
He said he just swung and then the glasses hit and just was like, shh. Damn, it just hit the door. Yeah. I seen him fight in the house.
Ooh.
Just, I'm not gonna say his name, but my other uncle that we don't really talk to no more.
Who won?
My dad, bro. I remember that shit, bro.
What happened?
So we were in the dining room, and I was standing, you know, like the arch, the
Wait, when was
the
this? When
entryway.
was this?
This was like 2017.
So like
2017.
4 years ago? 4 years ago?
Like 5.
2017 is 4.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. I don't really care, yeah. It was either like 2017 or not. I think it was like 2017. But you always ask when the fuck the date is, nigga. Like, let me just say the story. I be forgetting shit too much, cause so, I was standing in the dining room, like, you know, the arch that leads into the fucking living room.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, that's the fight. Hold up. Let me start from the fucking beginning. So, I was doing my math homework, and I asked my dad for some help, and he was helping me at the dining room table. We were doing it, and then my uncle came upstairs, and he and my aunt and his kids had already stayed here at my house for about like 6 months, right? So when he came up, my dad was like, hey, you gotta find a place to stay soon, man. And he was like, bro, what the fuck? You ain't kicking me out? And started getting an attitude in our house. It ain't even his house, you know? And so my dad was like, I don't give a fuck, bro. You gotta get the fuck out soon. You've been here for 6 months. And then he was getting a fucking smart mouth and shit. And then my aunt comes upstairs because they're getting loud and shit. And my mom comes down from upstairs. And my grandma comes out from the living room. And, like, you know, it's getting kind of hectic. So now I get in that arch and I'm kind of standing back, you know, like, not, you know, I'm the younger kid and I'm watching and they're getting loud and shit. And they're in the fucking door of the kitchen and dining room right there. And my aunt and uncle are in the kitchen facing this way. And my dad and my grandma are in the dining room facing in the kitchen. You know, they're yelling like this, right? And my aunt, like, tries to punch my grandma. You know, it's not her daughter. It's on my mom's side, you know. So, starts swinging on her and shit. And then
You hit her?
Yeah. So she stepped back, and then Ashley stepped back. Oh, fuck it. I said her name. I don't give a fuck. So she stepped back, my aunt. And, fucking, my uncle tried, he threw, I remember it. My dad says he don't remember him swinging really, but he remember just seeing the flashes and just moving back. And I remember seeing that this shit was crazy. So my uncle, he threw a left, a right, a left, and a right, just bam, bam, bam. And my dad just moved, just watched it and just was like, bam, 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 and just moved back, bro. I remember seeing it. So he moved back out the doorway, and then my uncle moved in and tried spearing him, and then they hit the table, and then they started to fall, but my dad rolled, and they both got up, and then they exchanged a few hits. My dad hit him, and then he tried spearing him again. But then my dad did the guillotine on him. You know how you get their head right there, and then he was choking him. But then he moved from that, and he took his hands and he laced his fingers together behind his neck, like this, and he took it. And he swung it around like this and put it straight in his knee, bro. His face, bro. And I watched it, bro. My dad was sick for 2 weeks prior to that shit, too. He was sick as fuck, bro. I forget why, but I remember he wasn't working and shit, and he was laying down real sick. And it was like before he got diabetes and shit, too. I think when it was starting to come to him. Yeah. Well, we're gonna have more interesting stories and shit. Hopefully, I'm gonna spark up a fucking wood and we gonna box this car next time. You already fucking know, get high as fuck next time. Probably have some special guests and shit, you know. And obviously, it's gonna get better content as it goes, you know. Everybody starts small, so we gonna get to it and shit. Maybe have longer videos, shorter, go live. I don't give a fuck, you know. So, well. Fuck it, we gonna end it. So let me hold up, let me do something. Ay, ay, ay. Fuck. Dude, this shit does not want to go in there. Oh, it's backwards.